Sometimes the universe speaks the loudest when you slow down long enough to say thank you. And today we're saying thank you with more listener intuition stories.
For generations, women were shamed for trusting themselves, sensing things before they happen, and believing in their own power. No one encouraged them to embrace it until now. Welcome to Trust Yourself.
Hi, I'm Elise, but my sister calls me Sissy.
And I'm her sister, Heidi.
Happy Thanksgiving!
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
To our American fans here.
Oh, yes. Happy nothing
Thursday
day.
to everyone else.
Happy Thursday. Happy just another Thursday.
Oh
you
gosh.
didn't get work off.
Even though it's kind of a tainted holiday, I just love food. I'm excited.
I love food. Actually, I think my goal is to create Friendsgiving when we relocate to Ireland, because Ireland obviously doesn't have Thanksgiving, but I want to make it a thing where I invite our neighbors over and our friends, and we just have a Friendsgiving.
I bet they've got something cool in Ireland that we don't have. That
if they do, if you do, and you live in Ireland, let me know.
Yeah.
Let me know. Send me a DM.
What's crazy at my husband's Thanksgiving is that in his family, they have 2 people with celiac, and then 2 people are vegans. And his mom is an incredible cook and can make non-dairy, non-wheat, gluten-free, whatever food. Every single food at Thanksgiving is made for everyone.
A safe food. A safe Thanksgiving.
That's
so amazing.
I don't know how she does it. It's like making food for 3 toddlers that all eat different stuff.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, for real. Yeah. So you have to change the gravy.
Yeah,
you have to have some sort of vegan main option.
The stuffing is even different.
Turkey.
Yeah, not turkey.
That's a lot. That's a lot. So what do they have for like the vegan main dish?
I don't remember, but it's always delicious. It's always good.
I remember our Aunt Jody made like a beet Wellington.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Remember that? That was good. Yeah, that was good. I think these like vegetarian options are super cool too, though. And they're usually delicious.
Yeah, I love it. Good Lord, look at all my tiny little hairs.
Did you know what that means? I asked.
It means I'm going through perimenopause and my hair is
it's a good thing. It's not falling out. No, I seriously asked my hairdresser about that because I have all these little hairs too. And she's like, they're baby hairs because they're growing in. So it's like, you're not losing hair. They're starting to grow. It's just going to take a while.
Okay. Well, if you're watching, please ignore these little hairs swooshing up above my head every time I move.
We're thankful though.
We're
thankful that our hair is growing.
My new baby hairs. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. Let's get to the point here. All right, we are talking about gratitude and intuition. So something that I've learned since taking this huge leap of faith, leaving my well-paying job and starting this business with my sister, is that I definitely need to follow my intuition every day. Otherwise, I'm going to just spiral and freak out. And I mean, I still do.
I was going to say, wait. Pretty sure you still do that.
I still do that. But even more so, it just makes it really important to tap in and listen to your intuition. And we all know that it's not easy to hear your intuition, but one really simple thing that makes it a lot easier is gratitude. Gratitude actually raises your vibration, and you can probably feel it in your chest, like in your body, when you say thank you to someone or when you show your appreciation. I know I feel all like tingly inside. I'm like, oh, thank you very much. And they smile and like, you feel
the tingle
good.
Fairy.
The tingle fairy.
The tingle fairy comes and goes, ding. Oh, I feel so happy now.
Yes.
Well, even like, I posted about this like last week when somebody just complimented me on my lipstick.
Right.
2 people did. And it makes you feel so good inside. And I'm sure the person saying it, like they probably felt a little good too, but it's just like, it's spreading the tingles, spread the tingle fairies.
Totally does spread. And even like the littlest thing, somebody held the door open for me and I said, oh, thank you. And they responded, you're so welcome. Just that so instead of just, you're welcome. Or even like, yeah. Oh my gosh, it made me all tingly.
Yeah, like you're very welcome. You're so very welcome.
I love it.
Okay.
So
grateful. We are so grateful.
Yes. So when you are raising your vibrations like that, it really truly makes it easier to hear your intuition because you're on that higher vibration, that you're matching that frequency. So today we are giving thanks for the signs, the synchronicities, the spirit nudges that guide us. It puts a little bit more of a positive spin on this Thanksgiving holiday, I think. So in honor of
still in land?
No.
No.
So in honor of that, we are going to read more listener stories about how you followed your intuition and what happened when you did. But before we dive into your stories, we do want to talk about something that we just launched that you may like. So
exciting.
Many people have told us that they struggle to hear their intuition and to sense it. I mean, one of my friends actually told me, I'm so jealous I don't have a story to share with you for your listener stories because I can't hear or sense shit. But I love hearing other people's stories, so keep them coming. But this is why Heidi and I decided that we are going to launch a free workshop designed to help you strengthen your intuition, to hone into it and actually start sensing it. And it is now available on our website. And so we will put the link in our show notes. Heidi, why don't you just explain a little bit what's inside the workshop?
Yeah. So inside the workshop, you will learn why you are probably disconnected to your intuition. And just a little hint, it probably has something to do with a fried nervous system because we can't receive if we are fried. Right? We can't sense when we are already in fight or flight mode. So we kind of talk about that and teach you ways to calm your nervous system, come back to center without having to meditate for hours and hours. And then teach you what your intuition will sound like. Because there's so many different ways. We call it what did you call it, Sissy? The intuitive signature?
Yeah, your unique intuitive signature. Everybody has a
that.
different way their intuition speaks to them.
Yeah, it's just like your fingerprint. So everybody isn't going to receive information the same way, but we talk about all the different ways you can receive it, and then you can start practicing. So it's super fun, and I think everyone loves it. So
yeah,
go check it out.
Yeah, because I think it's important because when you trust yourself, you trust your intuition, you will notice that you show up differently at home, at work, in your relationships. You're going to make decisions faster. You're going to feel calmer, attract opportunities that align with you, not who you think you need to be.
Yeah.
And you'll feel safe taking those really risky leaps of faith, like leaving your draining job and starting a podcast, maybe. So yes, even if you're the tiniest bit curious about cranking up the volume on your own intuition, go check out our Start Sensing workshop. It's going to be great, and it's free. Yay.
And it's free. We're thankful. It's free.
For once.
Yes.
Okay. So let's get to what you're really here for, your listener stories. And actually, the first two stories are our family stories. Hopefully you're not sick about hearing about our family yet, but we are a storytelling family, so we have some goodies. The first one is about our papa, mom's dad.
Yeah. So this one I actually didn't even know until I was sitting bawling my eyes out in the church at Papa's funeral. And the pastor was telling the story. And I was pretty shocked, actually, but also not shocked at the same time. Because if you know our Papa, he always was willing to help people. So when I heard that one night Papa was, I believe that so they had 5 children. My mom is one of them. And so they were all sitting down to dinner, and Papa just stands up and says, I need to go talk to this specific person. And mind you, this specific person was a young teenage man. And Papa was, I have no idea how old he was, probably in his 40s or something.
Yeah, 30s, 40s. Yeah.
So he stands up and says, I need to go talk to this person. And he goes over to their house and just has a conversation with this kid. And I don't know exactly what was said, but what ended up happening later when that kid grew up and was an adult, he came to Papa and said, do you remember that night when you came to me and chatted with me at my house? And he said, oh, of course, yes, I do. And the kid said, well, what you didn't know was I was planning on taking my life that night. And whatever Papa said made him change his mind. And Papa even said, I know when I talked to Mom about this too, Papa would always say he was guided by God that night. He was told by God, he was visited by God to go and speak to this kid. And he didn't really know why. He didn't know what to say, but he just, whatever he said, it didn't matter. It worked.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I have just goosebumps even just rehearing that. Holy crap. Did you see that?
Was there another ghost?
Orb. There was a huge orb that just came into view here. We'll review
Hey,
that.
Papa.
Maybe it was a dust bunny or maybe it was Papa.
I love it.
It was so great. I loved that story. I unfortunately didn't hear it because at his funeral, I was sick in the bathroom and then in the ER.
You had to go to the ER.
So I didn't hear that story till
It was an
way
awful
later.
weekend.
It was an awful weekend. I didn't hear that story till way later, but it was, man, it totally makes sense. He just followed his intuition. He just stood up at dinner. He's like, I gotta go. Can you imagine Nanny's face? Like, what the?
Oh God.
What?
I'm sure she was like, thanks a lot, Floyd. But I mean, think about that. Like if that was you and you were like, hey, you should go talk to this person. I'd be like, okay, well, not right now because I'm eating and how weird. Why would I go talk to this teenager? Like you would start to second guess it. But when you are so connected to your intuition and you trust yourself and you know that it's being led by a higher source, you don't question it. So I think it's beautiful.
So beautiful. Oh, I love that story. Okay. One more family story, and then I promise I'll get to your stories. This story is about my Grammy. So this is on the other side of our family, my dad's mom. And I was really close with her growing up. But unfortunately, later in her life, she developed Alzheimer's. And I actually felt really, really guilty because I didn't go visit her quite often in those last few years.
Though. I didn't either. So don't feel super guilty. I feel the same way that you feel because it does feel hard.
Well, I was a caretaker for an elderly lady with dementia, and I saw firsthand how it's such a terrible, difficult disease that it just strips away your memories. It strips away everything, and family gets hurt. They get confused. Everyone's frustrated, angry, and I didn't want to see that firsthand with my grandma. I wanted to remember her as she was. So when she passed, I went to go visit, but of course right before she passed, I went to visit, but she wasn't able to speak. And that sat with me for a long time. That made me feel really, really guilty. And so, of course, as soon as she passed, I'm immediately trying to connect with her, right? I'm like, Grammy, send me a sign, speak to me, come talk to me. I can talk to spirits. I've done it before for random people in the bar, but I couldn't connect with her. Yeah. And at first I thought she was mad at me. Like, that's how terrible my mind was.
Your self-worth is on the floor, girlfriend.
I'm like, oh, she's mad because I didn't see her. It was almost a full year that I got nothing. And I just eventually, I'm like, I'm going to give it up. She'll come to me and I'll, when I'm ready, when she's ready. I went to a couple psychics who told me like, yeah, she's trying to talk to you, but you're closed off, Elise. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm open, I swear.
I'm the most open ever. There is a neon sign flashing open.
No, I thought I was open. I was open for everyone else, but I was clogged. I was foggy from my own guilt and my own fear. So eventually what ended up happening was I went to bed one night and I had this crazy, very vivid dream. It was so real. And it was amazing that I could kind of remember almost all of it. Usually they're a little foggy, but this one I remembered every detail. It was enough for me to actually call my dad afterwards. So what happened was in this dream, I was in a house and I was preparing for a birthday party. I had a birthday cake, I had candles, I had everything up and decorated, but I was stressed out because there were a lot of people coming and I knew this birthday person was about to be here. I didn't know who it was, but I'm like, everybody, shut the F up. I need to get ready for this party. And all of a sudden the doorbell rings and I go to the answer and it's actually you, Heidi, you and Mom. And I'm like, thank God you're finally here. But then I stopped because you're both like sitting there and you're smiling, but your tears are coming down your face. And I'm like, wait, what the heck is going on?
I feel like I'm about to cry.
Okay. You don't say anything, but you just step aside and right behind you is Grammy. And she is just radiant and glowing and shimmery and wearing this beautiful blue shimmery dress. And exactly how I remembered her when she was in my childhood, that happy Grammy. And she didn't say anything, not through her mouth. She telepathically looked at me and she goes, it's okay. I'm here. I woof you, which is what she always used to say. I woof you guys. Just so funny, but I love it. And she just hugged me and I'm bawling, but I feel so much love, so much warmth. And I'm crying and I'm on my knees and somebody comes up to me, one of my friends, it was Jen, I think. She comes up, she's like, Elise, why are you crying? What is going on? And I look at her and I'm like, well, Jen, this is my grandma. She came, she's here. Look. And the second I turn back, she's gone. She's not there. And Jen's like, yeah, okay, Elise, whatever.
Get off the floor, you weirdo.
I know. So then in the morning when I called my dad, I'm like, Dad, I had this best dream about Grammy, and I explained it to him. And he's just very, straightforward. He's like, well, that's very sweet, Elise. And how interesting. It's her birthday today. And I'm like, oh my God, the party was for her. I feel bad I didn't even remember it was her birthday, but I didn't put the two and two together. It was so magical that, believe what you want to believe, but I truly believe she came to visit me that night. And it was so magical. What's even cooler is that later I was talking to my dad more about the dream, and he was like, that's so interesting, Elise, because I just talked to my sister, Ellen, who's my Aunt Ellen, and she had the same dream about our mom. Not necessarily the birthday cake and everything, but she was also in a room. There was a knock at the door. She went to open the door and she saw her mom. Also, I think it was also in like a blue dress or something, a blue outfit. I know. And she also didn't open her mouth, but spoke telepathically to Ellen. And they just went on this long walk. She held her hand. And then eventually she just kind of faded away. And it was just this beautiful reconnection. And Ellen got to say everything that was on her mind. And then Grammy just looked at her and smiled and like, everything's okay. And that to me sealed the deal. And like, this was Grammy 100%. Oh,
absolutely. I feel like, intuition can speak to you in so many different ways. It can come through dreams. And to me, it's like, when it's different because it feels different from your normal dreams. And either you remember every little detail like that, or it's just a feeling that you have where I'm like, that felt real. Like I've had so many where I'm sure I've called you to and I'm like, this was a cosmic meetup. I very much was with this person. I feel like our souls connected overnight.
Yeah. And it's just what you needed at that time too. It's like, it's perfect timing. I'm glad I had that. All right, let's get to your actual listener stories. And I'm really excited for these. We got some good ones. Heidi, really you want to read the first one?
Absolutely. So this one, I apologize because we actually got back in like August. So Becky, thank you so much for sending this in. Becky from the UK. The subject line caught our eye. The subject was, I manifested my boyfriend. So
I remember reading this a long time ago, but I forgot. So I'm excited to hear it again.
It's very exciting. Okay. First things first, I want to say I am obsessed with your podcast. Thanks, Becky.
Yeah.
I love how it all just feels so normal and down to earth without being pretentious. You ladies are amazing, and you've inspired me to start my own business too. Thank you. Yay, Becky. Good job. Anyways, I have to tell you about my intuition slash manifestation story because it is just so magical and beautiful, and I know you'll love it. I already do. I became single at the start of the year and went deep into self-love, self-healing, quantum shift, you know the drill. I was talking with my best friend a few months into my healing journey, and I told her how I didn't want a boyfriend as I was really enjoying just being with me and having my own space. I was loving solo dates, which side note, you should go on a solo date, even if you're married in a relationship. Dating yourself is super duper fun and luxurious. Learning how to truly fall in love with myself and just growing as a person on my own. But I started to list off all the things I wanted if I did get a boyfriend. For example, into the gym / weightlifting, but not running. I do not want to be dragged out running. Girl, same.
It's not for everyone. I love it.
It's definitely not for me. Sissy, you are weird. Has a get up and go personality. None of this sleeping till midday and wasting the day. Oh, wouldn't it be wonderful if he was a chef?
Oh, yes.
Someone who has their shit together and can look after themselves, and they don't need any mothering or to be kicked into gear. Enjoys hikes / walks / nature. The list goes on. I am fussy and done with shit men. I deserve nothing less than perfect. Amen, sister.
Yes.
This is what everybody should be doing. A week later, I had a dream that I was with a random guy at some house. Nothing special happened. It just felt nice to be in his presence. When I woke up, my intuition went, go on the dating apps, but do it when you're down at your brother's this weekend. My brother lives a couple hours south from me. I thought this was very weird and random, and I couldn't fathom why I would do that. I don't want a boyfriend. And why would it make any sense to set my location 2 hours away from me? But it kept nudging me. So I did an intuition test with my crystal pendulum. Woo!
Hey!
And it confirmed that I needed to go on the dating apps, but set my location to where my brother lives. So I did.
Cool.
The first day on the apps, I came across this profile. I actually nearly swiped no, purely because he just didn't look like the type of guy I would usually go for. He was a good looking guy, just didn't look my style. But I couldn't stop staring at his pictures. I knew him. I know I did. I just had this gut feeling that I knew this person. But how? So I just went for it and swiped and we matched. Yay. The conversation between us was just incredible. It flowed from day one and we would really get deep in various subjects. And he just ticked every single box that I had listed off to my friend, including being a chef. You lucky bitch.
That's amazing. I love it.
But it was just his pictures. I could not stop staring at them because I knew this guy. Never met him before in my life, but I knew him. And his eyes captivated me. I had this really strange tingling in my root chakra whenever I stared at his eyes on his pictures, and I just felt safe. That's when I knew that our souls had met before in past lives, and I knew he was a soul match. I'm so excited. I hear the wedding bells already. Like, ding, I can hear it. It's only been a few short months, plus like 3, because this was from August.
I'm assuming they're still together, right, Becky?
Yes,
right?
I double checked on her Instagram, and they were recently spotted in October, so I think we're good.
They're recently spotted. I love it.
It has only been a few short months, but I know we've been together many years and many lifetimes before. Since day one, I have felt safe and comfortable in his presence. We've already been on 2 holidays together, and we are starting to plan our future together. Oh, and the fact that he lives 2 hours away, absolutely perfect. Not too far away to see each other on our days off from work, but I still have my own space and alone time. The universe really did deliver. I love it so much. As a final note, we've just spent a few days together in the Scottish Highlands, and I had a bit of a wobble. A bit of past trauma from previous relationships got me panicking. So I asked the universe to help me out. I needed a sign to tell me that he really was the one and I wasn't wasting my time once again.
Yeah.
I asked for a yellow butterfly to show me that this was meant to be. The next day, we were in a cute little gift shop and there was a table of books that I was looking at, and I glanced up at a book that was standing up on display, and right there on the cover was a little yellow butterfly. I couldn't stop smiling to myself, and my boyfriend thought I had lost the plot. But it's comforting to know I am on the right path. Hope you love this story as much as I love telling it. I don't have many spiritual friends / acquaintances, so I don't get to tell it much. People just think I'm weird. We don't think you're weird, Becky. We are your community, your safe space. Also, she said, if you guys ever travel to the UK, which we will, I promise. She can recommend some gorgeous places in Cumbria. It's a must visit. So let's add that to our list. Thank you so much,
Becky. And then we'll get some free hot chocolate with Vicky after that.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. I can't wait. We'll have to see how far away. I don't know. Where's Vicky's in Leeds. So I don't know my geography. So I'm not even going to pretend to know how far away things are.
Europe is pretty condensed. So I'm fine just going on a road trip.
Yeah. Let's do that.
That's awesome, Becky. That actually reminds me of when I forced you to get on Match.com of pushed your boundaries a little bit on what you would like.
You push multiple boundaries. First of all,
and then you found your husband.
First of all, I was 25 years old and broke AF. And so I was on the free dating apps, but you were like, nope, give me your phone. I'm downloading Match. And then you took my credit card and signed me up for Match.com. And then you were making my profile for me, and you set the age range from like 27, because you can't date somebody that's exactly your same age because that's weird. Boys, you have to go older, right? But 27 to 30. And in my head, I was like, no, do 27 to 28 because 30 is gross.
Oh, God.
But also because you and I are 4 years apart, and I was 25, so you were 29. And I was like, I don't want to date somebody that's older than you. That's weird. Anyways, found Kent almost immediately because he was wearing an Iowa Hawkeye shirt, even though we were in Minneapolis. Sissy is a big Hawkeye fan. My dad's from Iowa. Sissy was born in Cedar Falls. Guess where this motherfucker grew up? He is from Cedar Falls. So there was just all these little lines.
The synchros were synchroing.
The synchros were synchroing. And we met, and the rest is history. So thank you, Sissy, for finding me my husband, I guess.
You know what? Online dating is not that bad.
Trust your nudges. That was your nudge. Your nudge was like, no, Heidi, you can't be on those free apps. You don't get quality men.
No,
and you were right.
I was right. All right. I've got another listener story, and I feel awful because I swear I read this before. But we
literally had like a 20-minute discussion before this.
Did we read this? No, we didn't.
Sure
I went back to look at all the other transcripts. Nope. Did not read this story. So sorry, Sarah. I love this story and I thought I already read it, but here goes. All right. This is Sarah from Wisconsin. She said, at 14 years old, I went on vacation to Hayward, Wisconsin with a friend. I woke up one morning feeling off. I ran through all the possibilities. Not sick, not homesick. I then proceeded to think about my friend Tim all morning and how upset I'd be if something happened to him. As soon as we got home from town, I called his home phone from one landline in our cabin. I miss landlines.
Me too.
He always answered, but it was his mom this time. When I asked for him, she said, "Didn't you hear? He's in the hospital. He fell into a bonfire last night and has third-degree burns all over his body." Look, I went home as fast as I could and helped take care of him and change his dressings. I told him he scared me so much, and he said, "Well, how else was I supposed to get you to come home?" He obviously didn't do it on purpose, but for my 14-year-old's ears and eyes, I thought it was so romantic.
Yeah, that's so sweet.
Isn't that sweet?
Also, the fact that she was 14 years old and changing bandages and dressings from burn victims on, oh God, honestly, like even in nursing school, I was like, can we skip the burn section? I don't want to go to the burn unit.
Sarah, you're girl. She was spot on though. She knew right away that something was wrong with Tim. I love it.
Yeah. Wild.
Okay. Heidi, you've got another listener story.
I've got another one. This is from Cassidy, and she's one of our newer listeners. So she says, "Hi, Elise and Heidi. I'm a brand new listener to your podcast, and I'm loving it. Thank you. I've got a story to share about signs from the universe. I'm a very nervous flyer, and a few years ago, I was feeling particularly anxious about an upcoming flight. I had recently started reading about things like manifestation and asking the universe for signs, so I decided to try it out. About a week before the flight, I used a random thing generator online. Brilliant idea.
I love that.
Such a good
one
idea.
of those apps.
We need to do that. A random thing generator online, and it gave me a soy sauce packet. So I said out loud,
so random.
"Okay, universe, if my plane is going to crash, show me a packet of soy sauce." The whole week, I purposely didn't go anywhere that I knew for sure soy sauce packets would be, like a sushi restaurant.
Yes.
I thought I could take it as a true sign if I saw a soy sauce packet someplace random, like on the ground somewhere or in a television commercial, instead of seeking one out. Good call. Good call, Cassidy. I never saw a packet of soy sauce, and I took the flight. Everything was fine. No plane crash. Yay! A day or so after I got home, I was unpacking a meal kit delivery order and thinking about how I had asked the universe for a soy sauce packet sign and was feeling a little silly about it. I thought to myself, I mean, it's not that unusual that I didn't see a random soy sauce packet lying around. It was probably just a coincidence, not the universe specifically withholding a packet of soy sauce from me, just so I'd know that the flight was safe. Just as I finished that thought, the next ingredient I pulled out of the meal kit was a packet of soy sauce.
Soy sauce packet, yes.
That's like cherry on top of like, oh, you think it would just be easy to not see a soy sauce packet?
Yeah.
Boom.
Universe is like, what now, bitch?
Yes. Oh my God, I love it. That is so great. Thank you so much, Cassidy, for sending that in. I hope you feel better about flights now that you can ask the universe for signs, because it totally works, like asking the universe for signs. And maybe next time you can be like, show me a soy sauce packet if the flight's going to be safe.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Put like a positive spin on it. So you're not like paranoid this whole time of like, oh my God, if I see a soy sauce packet, I'm going to crash.
Yeah, but then I'm going to be looking for soy sauce packets like, oh my God, please make sure it's going to be safe. Oh my God.
But if you use a random thing generator,
that's pretty cool.
It's just random. I love that idea.
That's
I'm
such a great idea.
go check that out. Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Those were great stories. I love the stories. I love our job. We love helping.
I love our job. We
I
love
love
our
our
best job in the whole world. It's so good.
I love helping people get even more connected and start believing the unbelievable, even if it's through listening to other people's stories. So also, if you do have just general questions about tapping into your intuition, and then you also go listen to our free workshop, you can also send us a DM or an email. All of our contact info is in our show notes, and we love hearing from our listeners. And yeah, we probably shouldn't give away free advice, but we do.
No, but that's part of what we love to do. And we'd love to connect with people. Like we want to build a community too. So, you know, we're your sisters. We're your sisters in spirituality, in all of these woo-woo things that if you can't, like, exactly like Becky said, like if you don't have a group of friends that are into this, that you don't feel comfortable talking to, we can be that best friend for you. So please reach out to us. We want to be your bestie/sister.
Yeah. All right. Now let's set the tone for the weekend and trust your tarot with Heidi.
All right. Thanksgiving. What do we need to know? What should we be focusing on? Ooh, maybe what should we be thankful for?
How do I talk to that one uncle? No, I'm kidding.
King of Feathers, logic and justice, and it's a lion. And to me, this is all about courage. It almost feels like courage of balancing out logic and intuition. And you can still use logic. Like when we talk about tapping into your intuition, you don't have to get rid of your logic completely, but let your ego kind of take a back seat. Mm-hmm. But I think that's a really interesting thing to remember. It's just giving me a lot of balance, like energy. Just reminding to balance, even with being thankful and our gratitude, because I feel like sometimes we can get stuck in a loop of, oh no, I didn't say any gratitude today. Like, I just ruined everything. But it's just, just knowing that everything will balance out. And then I flipped the other two. We got Knight of Feathers, which is action and focus, and it's a coyote. So I believe we should be taking some action to help us out this week. And then number 9 is the Hermit, which is contemplation and wisdom. And it's a cute little koala bear.
He's so
super duper cute. But this just feels like a really nice balance of taking action, but also having a moment to yourself and then balancing that logic. So if you have a little bit of time off from work over the holidays, at any point, maybe just give yourself a little space to really tap into yourself and what you want and start planning for next year. What do you want next year to look like? Do you want to be in the same job? Do you want to try something new? What area of your life do you want to push yourself outside of your comfort zone? And I think you can really find a lot of wisdom when you take that moment to kind of be a little bit of a hermit and really try to look inward. But then once you do that, you can kind of focus and take action by trusting your intuition and balancing it with a little bit of logic. So that's how they all come together.
I love it. I also love that the lion kind of reminds me of just tapping into your inner strength at the Thanksgiving table. If politics come up, just like, okay, I'm going to be strong. That's the first thing that came to my mind. But yes.
Oh, I love it. Luckily, I feel like our Thanksgiving table, I mean, we're going to be together.
Yes.
So that's going to be exciting. I'm very excited. Yeah. But yeah, that's going to, I think we're usually okay with that front.
But for those of you that aren't, else. Please be safe this holiday. Protect yourself, protect your energy. DM us if you're bored.
Yes. We're going to be together. So some chaos will ensue.
Watch out. All right. Well, thank you guys. And until next time, it's your move, sis.
Make it count. Bye. You forgot to remind me to get my cards out before we recorded.
Shit. Go get your cards.